Right now we can start, and I would like to start this presentation with a little GIF I would like to share to you. And I thought about this presentation before, and I was like, okay, how can I explain and show different details and examples of how you can see the effect of iOS 14 for all of us, for every ad we can drive on Facebook and so on. And yeah, as you can see, this little man, he's having a forget pen in his hand and just clicks, and everything you knew is completely gone. And this is what happened with our ads, and that's what it will be about. So today's topic is how can we track even better than before iOS 14 with these hacks. And some key facts about me, for those who don't know me yet. I'm Daniel Schröder. I started 2018 with my marketing agency. Alongside studies, I went all in, and I knew it was the right way for me because marketing was always a part of me, and I just wanted to go and do it by myself and prove it for myself. Yes, so these are some brands we work with, and this is the big challenge we are facing right now. Right now, it's up to 48% of all data we had in our ad account is completely gone. And when you drive ads, and I guess everybody drives ads here in this room, we have this huge problem that we are not able to see our data anymore. So when we have a look at specific ad sets, for example, and you have an ad set which Facebook says works completely good, you see the ROAS is fine and so on, and the other one doesn't. It doesn't mean that the actual ad set, the first one, which shows Facebook is working very good, is really working good. It just means maybe the other ad set is because of iOS 14 doesn't show as much data as the other one, which has more Android customers and so on. And yeah, how we can solve this big thing? It's maybe the biggest one we are facing since the start of digital marketing. And of course, there are some basics to do. I won't go into every step. I just want to show you, of course, these things we have to do. It's no big deal. We all did it, but this is the main thing I want to explain. And give me 1 second, and I will show you further. So it's not like we should look on our ads and that's it. We had our ad account and just look at the data and scale up and do all these things. It's more like we have to have a holistic view on everything. Manel explained, when you have, for example, campaigns which are working and you want to scale it, there can be different aspects why it doesn't work, or you have some caps you reach, and you have to have a holistic view of everything to just be able to scale up the business further. And this is one thing I would like to show. It's like some people think it's like you go click and buy in your online shop and so on, but we all know the customer journey, it's a trait of human, you know. As a human, as a person which is just going in, sees an ad, starts to Googling your brand, you have your YouTube channel maybe, you have your different kind of stuff which you can just be like, have touch points that will just will just give the final pushback that people will buy in your online shop, you know. And there, as I explained, different kind of stuff, direct, organic, Google Ads, and so on. And you have to have the possibility to just be able that every customer that has these different touch points with you will be able to have this one push to really buy and be happy with your brand, you know. And the first big thing is holistic reporting, which we all need. And which reporting can we use in this step? There are some different kind of stuff, like many of you might know Data Studio with supermetrics and so on. And this one is a good thing, of course, but when you're not that technical, when you have, for example, your employees who set up these dashboards and so on, it is important to just have a look, and you see if you connect all this data, it will just be like oh man, it will just be like it is too technical for someone. And this one, the second one, I want to compare this together is Watergraph. This is the software solution we found in the market, which has, compared to Data Studio, a very good advantage. When you just create dashboards, it's very, very important to have actually a user-friendly interface and so on. It's like drag and drop, and you can just use all these aspects you have from Data Studio. You also have it with Watergraph, but it's like a more easier way to set up those holistic reportings. Okay, so in the business you have so much integrations which you want to connect with your holistic reporting, and when you go for example, Data Studio or also Watergraph, you have all these kind of stuff which you want to show in one holistic reporting, and you don't want to be more like you have to look on different dashboards. You want to have it in one, so when you scale up your campaigns and so on, you just have a look at this, and you're able to scale up further. This is one example how a reporting can look in your business. You can just put everything in you need, and moreover, it's like when you have, for example, custom formula. I mean, we all know the Facebook dashboard doesn't show us the real ROAS of your campaigns, and when you use this reporting system, you can just go in and put your own custom metrics, and you can just put different kind of sources to calculate your ROAS, which is actually happening in the background. And let me explain. We all know, as we discussed, there are so many touch points and so many transaction revenue which was made through different kind of touch points and campaigns on different levels. And if we want to see, for example, the overall ROAS of our Facebook campaigns, there's a possibility to also exclude different sources. So you can use Google Analytics, your shop data, and so on, and you just go ahead and exclude every source you don't want to see in this specific aspect. Then, of course, you can divide it with your Facebook ad spend and so on. And if you have this holistic view, you also want to be able to see, okay, we have touch points with our brand campaign. The brand campaign, since we started with our ads, is increasing extremely because people see our first touch on Facebook, then they go on Google and just click on the Google brand campaign and so on. And when they do, they buy, and you can see it. And you know, you have the possibility to just contain, for example, here this. How can I? Here. Oh no. How can I? Doesn't matter. So you have the possibility to, let me show here. You can also add your brand keyword campaign, and then you can also divide it with the amount spent of Facebook, and you can say, okay, like we see, since we started our brand campaign and our Facebook ads, the performance of the brand campaign increased by, for example, 50%. And when it did like this, or you can even say like 20, 30% and so on, you can set the amount and have a more holistic and more real ROAS of your actual campaigns you drive on Facebook, and and get a better feeling of what you're doing right now. So if you want to start with Watergraph, you have those direct contacts from Watergraph, and they can set up everything with you. You have a 30-day trial, and you can see if it's a better way for you to have a holistic reporting than you did, for example, with Data Studio. Okay, but this is the main thing about this presentation. How do we get back our numbers to Facebook? And there are some possibilities we will have a look on. And yeah. So, first of all, you have to use the right solutions to see the customer journey. And where did the customer came from? Of course, we all know there are possibilities like, for example, post-purchase. So you can just ask your customer and let them know, okay, you get, for example, a discount for your next buy, but tell me, where did you come from? Because it's a completely black box if we don't. But that's not what helps us to completely see every data on Facebook, of course. And what we can use to see the data are different solutions. And I would like to compare those solutions with you. And we have different ones. Maybe you all know Triple Whale, Hyros, or Tracify. Did anybody doesn't know any of these software solutions here in this room? Everyone knows them? Okay, perfect. So if you have a look at the first point, the data accuracy, Triple Whale, for example, is a solution which has the possibility to just have a look at your data in the background, and they just match your IP address and see, okay, this customer comes from there. But the problem in this kind of solution is like the IP address, of course, can change. And when it does change, we, of course, cannot see, okay, what's going on with this customer. And Triple Whale is more focused on a holistic view than on a specific view, for example, on your each ad creative you're leveling on Facebook ads. Same with Hyros. Hyros has a solution in the background which helps you just to see with an artificial intelligence how the customer came from and when did they buy and so on. But the problem we have here is the cross-device from Hyros is like they are matching some parameters like email address, like phone numbers and so on. And these aspects can also change. So the data accuracy isn't that good if you just relate it, for example, to Tracify, another solution. And Tracify has, of course, also artificial intelligence in the background, but they have more than 100 million different data points, which they can see, okay, what did the customer do, when did they buy, and so on. And they also have a twin server system in their background in which they are able to just double check if the data they are pushing back are very the data which caused the different purchase in your company. So real-time data is another big thing. You have, for example, Hyros just updates the data every 1 to 3 hours in your ad manager. And this is a huge problem when you want to scale up your ads pretty quickly. And Triple Whale and Tracify do that. And also the integratability is given by every different solution we see here. And the other big thing is the ad manager visibility. So when you're a media buyer and you're in your campaigns and you want to scale each campaign, it's pretty easy when you have all your data already given in the ad manager, as we had before iOS 14. And Triple Whale, for example, has its own dashboard, and you have to look at this dashboard and go ahead. But for example, Hyros and Tracify also have the possibility to show this data in your ad manager, so you can just do it like it wasn't iOS 14. So you can just do your media buying like there happened nothing, and you can just scale your campaigns easier because you have all your data in your ad manager given. And and the last big thing about all these solutions is DSGVO compliance. We all know it's a big thing, and we will also in the future get less data and so on. And when we have a look at all these solutions like Hyros, Triple Whale, and Tracify, it's important to when you want to drive ads in the European countries that it's DSGVO compliant. And the only solution right now on this on the market is Tracify, which does this. And this is a big deal because when you have customers, you scale businesses, for example, with hires, and people get to know of that, you can get in trouble. And if you want to be safe, you can just go with, for example, Tracify and scale up the businesses and be DSGVO compliant. So I want to give you a quick example of how Tracify looks in the practice. And you can see we have the possibility to set up different attribution windows, like 1 day and so on, but also longer than 28, 60, or 90 days. If you have, when you have products which aren't like average order value 70s to 80 euro or something like that, of course the customer journey isn't like click and buy or 2 days or 6 days and so on. Maybe you have customer journeys which are 30 days or plus. And you also have the possibility to set up this attribution window for longer customer journeys to have a more holistic view and see, okay, how did my ad really affected the way the customer went in and bought the product. So also different attribution models and so on. I won't explain every one of them, but if we also have a look at the right side, you see we also have the possibility to include different touch points in the customer journey. And this helps us pretty good to see, okay, why did the customer, for example, see our ad on Facebook, didn't buy yet. They went, for example, on TikTok, and they went, for example, on, as you can see, email, had an interaction with influencer and so on. And then they bought, and you can see the right data always if you just check these boxes. On how the customer related to this data get in the process and bought in your online shop. Yeah, here's an example how it can look like in your ad manager. So you see, you just have under your Facebook data exactly the Tracify data, where you can just have a look and relate it to your creatives and so on. And also you can see it on the ad creative level. Of course, the creative right now is the most important thing in the market. Like 80% of the success of our campaigns contain to the creative. And we have to have a good view on our creative level to see which creative did work and which one doesn't, so we can scale up the campaigns more easily. Yeah. So I already said many of them. But to put in a nutshell, we can see the trackability of every user is a very good thing. We have the possibility to track even without cookies, modeling. It is DSGVO compliant, and you also have cross-device. And yeah, also all data is loaded in real time. I explained how it is with Iris, for example. We have a problem when the data doesn't come really quick, because when we, for example, scale up our campaigns on hourly basis, we have to have a good view on the data and which is what is working and what not. And you have it with this solution as well. And the last point is the attribution window. I explained it before. You can set up even with very high expensive products, and you can see and you can get a more holistic view of the customer journey. Yeah. This is what I explained already. And also with Watergraph, we have a direct contact for Tracify, for example. If you want to try this one, here's the contact data as well. Okay, just one little review I would to give at the end of this presentation. A couple of days ago, I was on the OMR. For those who don't know it, it's the biggest marketing event in Europe, and there were many presentations which were very impressive, and one presentation kept me in mind because it was the one from Alisa Janke from Purelay, and she spoke about the future of marketing in the e-commerce space. And there was one big thing which was very impressive because of the KPIs and what Purelay does. They already use live shopping experiences for their customers. They have the possibility to show the live shopping on their online shop. You can see like different kind of products. It's pretty simple to put it in your basket, to buy this stuff, and the KPIs are mind-blowing. They have right now a 35% conversion rate in this kind of solution, and they also have an average view time of the live shopping experience, like they have overall more than 20 minutes of average view time. And this is quite crazy if you have a look in the future of marketing, like we don't have data on Facebook and so on. It could be a change. It could be a good solution from the platform itself, that the customer can buy on the platform and doesn't have to leave. So when the customer leaves, it gets pretty bad to get all data. But when the customer is on the platform itself, it's more easily for us to see what's happening. And when you see this example, we can see that the conversion rate and so on can go pretty up as well. Yes, one last bonus at the end. It's iOS only target groups. If you have the transparency with a tracking solution like Tracify, Harris, and so on, you can also go into iOS 14, since iOS 14, in iOS only target groups. Since this change, many people are afraid they don't have the transparency in their ad account. And when you have a solution and you see your data, you can go into iOS only target groups, and it can cause a drop of CPM, and it also can cause a better conversion rate in your online shop, because studies have shown that the average iOS user has is more able to spend more money in your online shop and is a better customer, you know. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for your attention, and let's connect. If you have any question, just let me know.